The Brown Popular Culture Library is a unique facility. It's been around for more than 40 years now, and it collects the culture of everyday life. So they collect film, television, scripts, cookbooks, magazines, anything to do with the study of popular culture from the end of the 1800s until the present day.
Dr. Ray Brown was a professor on campus in the late 1960s, and he was the one who started the popular culture program. And so it was his idea that students and researchers would need primary resources in the library to conduct research.
Well, the good thing about the Popular Culture Library is it can accommodate almost any course that I'm teaching. So for example, I'm teaching a course on comic books and superheroes this semester, and I believe the Pop Culture Library has, I think, the second or third largest collection of comics in an academic setting. Everything is there. They have all the research materials there. They have all the books about the authors and the artists. So it's a great resource.
This collection is our graphic novels collection. Graphic arts are one of our largest collections. This includes a lot of modern graphic novels, collections of comics dating back to the earliest days of comics, as well as some of the very early graphic novels from the 1970s. Generally speaking, our comic books and graphic novels are one of our biggest collections. They're also frequently used by students, outside researchers, sort of just people off the street come to check out some of these books.
I usually use the library for personal research if I'm working on a presentation for an academic conference, or if I'm working on an article, or I've written entries for encyclopedias or essays for books. And so if I'm given a topic that I may not know much about, for example, I was given the topic of Plastic Man. So I know a lot about superheroes, but Plastic Man is a somewhat obscure hero. So I go trek to the library and everything's there. I'm working on a presentation now for a character called Slam Bradley, who was created by Siegel and Schuster, who came up with Superman. He was an earlier character. There's no reprints available of his work or his stories in books, but the Pop Culture Library has them on microfilm or microfiche. So if you're going to go anywhere in the world to study this stuff, it's just a couple of steps away.
So one of our main focuses here at the Pop Culture Library is romance fiction. We have this very large collection of series romances that date from probably the 1960s up through the early 2000s. And it includes publishers such as Harlequin, Dell, Ballantine. Pretty much every major publisher, especially during the 1980s, had their own series of romances. And we have at least a sampling from most of those publishers. Upstairs in our manuscripts collection, we have actual manuscripts of romance novels donated by the authors over the last 15 or 20 years. We've started to collect those, and that's a unique collection that really doesn't happen anywhere else. We were the only ones to really start asking authors for those papers.
What's interesting about the Pop Culture Library is that 90+% of their material is donated. So they don't have everything, but you get a good sense of, especially if you're studying anything in terms of genre. So we have lots of genre fiction, mysteries, detective stories, ghost stories, and they also have lots of what we would call realia.
The way the library started out initially was with a very small budget, and a lot of people gave things that they had, and Dr. Brown went out to rummage sales, used book sales, and today it's not very much different. We have a budget, but we also, I would say, about 80% comes from donations. And so people who either already have been donating over the years and know about us, or someone who hears about us and wants to donate. Our services include a reading room, so if you find something in the catalog or on our website that you would like to use in your research, you can come up here and fill out a form, and you can use the material here in the reading room. So we support students' research, and also outside visitors. We do have researchers who come from basically sometimes from all over the world to use some of our more unique materials.
Every semester I take all my classes to the Popular Culture Library. All the students are given a tour of the library. They're given an instruction on how to use the library facilities, and then they're encouraged to go and use the library and its resources for their research papers during the course of the semester. It's a growing collection, and it's only getting better and better.